No, have you figured out whether or not pies exist?
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that people aren't allowed to just have honest conversations on here without being trolled and deliberately
It's a serious question.
sabotaged like that. Do I need to explain this again? Because anybody can figure this out. I mean, elementary kids understand this. Do you need me to explain it to you?
Yeah, I think most people think pies exist.
So a pie is a combination of several ingredients that only manifests as an abstract label pie when those ingredients come together in a particular configuration. So the abstract label pie comes into existence, but the ingredients prior to that always existed in some form or fashion. Make sense?
Do pies exist?
Pies are created from previous ingredients.
But do they exist?
So they come into existence when those ingredients are combined.
So pies begin to exist.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Are you going to ask me this question again next time, or we're square
No,
now?
because you just changed your position.
No, yeah, I never once said that pies don't exist or pies don't come into existence. I said that the materials that make up pies always exist, and a pie is just a recomposition with a new label. That's what I've always said. And if you take it all the way back to the origination of that conversation, my question was is the universe a recomposition, or did it actually poof into existence? Pies do not poof into existence. And in fact, we don't have any examples of things that
No,
do.
you actually said that nothing began to exist. That was your claim.
Correct. No concrete things poof into existence.
You just said pies begin to exist. That's why I said to change your position.
Okay, cool. I'll explain this again. A pie is made up of several ingredients. When those ingredients are combined, we slap onto that composition an abstract label called pie. That abstract label began to exist when those ingredients were combined. The ingredients themselves previously existed and always existed in some form. So when I say
So there
nothing
is no
begins to exist,
concrete thing that's a pie, right? That's what you're saying?
when I say nothing
Pie is
begins
just
to
an
exist,
abstract label. It's not a concrete thing.
pie is an abstract label, correct?
So no thing, no concrete thing, pie, right, exists. You don't believe in any concrete pies.
I just told you, and in fact, I think we just agreed that pie was an abstract label.
No,
So
I
now for
never
you to
agreed
say
to
a
that.
concrete pie, so okay, you do not
Because I
agree that a
actually
pie
believe
is an
that
abstract
pies
label.
exist. That's what I
Okay,
actually believe that. I don't believe that pie is just an abstract label. I believe it's an actual thing.
so in your world, do pies poof into existence?
No,
Really? So the ingredients that make up the pie you're talking about, did they exist prior to the pie?
usually.
Okay, so we are in agreement. So I don't understand why you're just trying to be contrarian here.
No, you are. I mean, you're just saying pie is merely an abstract label. It's not merely an abstract label. The pie is an actual thing.
We both agree on this. I mean, you're trying to play semantic games. I don't understand. Like, what is the point?
The point is, if we can't agree on whether or not pies exist, then there's not really room to go much further into anything else.
Well, are you capable of being very precise with your use of words,
Yes, I am.
or do you prefer to be ambiguous? Is that your preference?
No, I'm being very specific. I think concrete pies exist.
Okay, great. So, did a pie exist before the ingredients were combined?
No, and that's why the pie began to exist.
Right. And a pie, a concrete thing, once it is, let's say, burned, we put the pie in the oven and it's burned. Is it still a pie?
Yeah, in that case, it would be a burnt pie.
Okay, and we turn up the heat very much. All that's left are ashes. Is it still a pie?
You said all that's left are ashes. Well, then you no longer are calling it a pie. So no.
Okay, but no, it's still a pie according to you,
No,
right?
it's not.
The same stuff. It was okay. So the pie was an abstract concept, wasn't it?
No. The pie was a real thing that was destroyed.
It wasn't destroyed. All of its pieces are still in the oven.
No, let's think about it this way. Do you exist?
I am composed of atoms, so physically, as a composition, yes. My identity
Is
began
that
to
is
exist when I was
is
born.
that just an abstract label, or is there a concrete thing called null that actually exists?
It's an abstract label.
Okay, so you don't actually exist in terms of a concrete being.
The word "you" as a label is an abstract concept. If you're talking about the atoms that make up my body, then they have always existed.
Yeah, I'm not asking about whether or not they always existed. I'm asking about the referent you, right? What does it refer to? Does it refer to null?
That's up to us to decide. We have to agree on the reference first. When you
Well,
say
that's
"you,"
why I'm asking you.
yeah. So when you say "you," are you referring to my identity, or are you using it as a pointer at my physical makeup? Which one?
Okay, no, this is the point. When you say I, when you use any sentence with the indexical I in it, what is it referring to?
Most often, it's referring to the abstract identity of me. No,
Okay, so that's not actually, when you say I, it doesn't actually refer to a concrete thing. There's no real I.
correct. Identities are abstract concepts.
Okay, so in reality, then, you don't actually exist. It's just an abstract concept.
I exist as an abstract concept.
Yeah, but not as a concrete being.
Correct. I is an abstract concept, so therefore it's not concrete.
Okay, so who am I speaking to now?
Me? See, I know you get this. I know you get this. Everyone gets this. Like, why? Why? What? Are you deliberately obtuse here? Or what's going on?
No, I'm just pointing out the absurdity in your worldview.
Your absurdity comes from you, what's the word? Equivocating on identity references.
No, it doesn't. Most people think that they actually exist as concrete beings, not mere abstract labels.
When they say that, they are referring to their physical makeup, their atomic
They're
structure. That's what
referring to
exists
them. They're referring to
concretely.
themselves. They're referring to themselves.
Yeah, and
Like James can
themselves.
refer to himself, and I can refer to James, right?
Here, is James listening? James, do you want to pine in here? I feel like I'm being clear, but maybe I'm not.
You are. You're very
Uh,
clear, no, but you're very clearly
so
wrong.
the thing, Noel, is that when you're looking at like me, I think I would be concrete. I have the identity as James. I don't exist as an abstract concept or substance. So I would have to agree with Jake in that sense. I think that your view makes it sound like you don't exist.
Okay, James, when you used I there, you said I exist. Are you referring to your identity, or are you referring to your molecules composed? Which one?
I'm referring to the concrete entity that is me. I'm referring to
Exactly.
me as I am here. Like I don't to separate myself into like particles. I think would be some kind of like equivocation and misuse of terms.
Okay, so you don't believe that there is a difference between a label and the thing the label is referring to. You think they're the same.
No,
Yeah, they are. The label is referring to the individual. It's just
Okay,
like when
great.
you call something a table. The table
So
is referring to the thing.
so if I were to print out a sticky note that said stapler, then that sticky note is a stapler. That's what you're saying.
no,
What?
that's not what he's saying.
What?
what he's
You just
saying is
said
that
that.
so the label,
No, come on,
so the
man.
label
Like
is what's
you're saying that I'm being obtuse, and then you come up with
Yeah,
like a sticky note.
you just
Like, come
said
on,
that
man.
there's no difference between a label and the thing the label refers to. You
No,
said they're the
no,
same.
listen. No, I can say that you're a horse, right? So I can label you as a horse, but would that make it true just because I said you're a horse?
No,
Right. So the point is, just because you write stapler on a yellow sticky note, that doesn't mean that the letters on the sticky refer to the sticky note itself, and that somebody thinks that the note is a stapler. That's just dumb.
correct. So you
Right.
and I a difference between a label and the thing the label to.
Why is it appropriate to label certain things as they are and not as other things? Why can I not call you a horse?
I don't know why that's relevant. I'm just trying to get you to agree that there is
It's
a difference
relevant
between
because horses and human beings and staplers and pies actually exist.
the labels, the four labels you just threw out. Those are abstract concepts because they are labels. They are referring to concrete compositions of matter.
Yes, they're actual
You agree?
things. That's the point. It's a
They're
concrete
they're
thing. It's a concrete
they're,
entity.
they're referring to things. The labels themselves are
Correct.
not concrete. Agreed.
The
Okay,
label is the label is referring to the concrete thing.
exactly. Yeah. See, we're in agreement. Now,
No, we're
I think
not,
what
because then you're saying then you're taking whatever the label is, and then you're saying that that label is not actually the thing. It's just a label. No, it is actually the thing. It really refers to the
wow.
concrete amalgamation of particulars of what you're speaking about. It
Okay, so
really is.
you
Tables
just
really
told
do exist. Pies
uh,
really do exist.
about 30 seconds ago, you said that there was a difference between a label and the thing the label refers to. And just now,
No, I
you said
didn't.
that the thing is a
No, I
label.
did not. No, I did not. No, I did not. When I use a label to refer to something, it's actually picking something out when I use that label. If
But
it
it's still a
doesn't,
label.
if it doesn't, then that label is being applied inappropriately.
But it's still a
Just like if
label,
I were to call
right?
you a horse, you would say, "No, Jake, I'm not a horse."
It's still a label. And do you agree
It's
that
a
labels are
label
concepts?
that is picking out something concrete that
Yes.
actually exists, and that label is referring to that concrete thing.
Yes, I agree. It is a reference to the concrete thing. It is not
Yeah, and
concrete
that thing
itself.
actually exists. Yes,
It
that thing actually exists. Yes, a word is not concrete, but words refer to concrete things.
There you go.
Nobody's saying that the word is concrete.
We are in
But when I
agreement.
use a word to refer to something, that thing actually is a chair or a pie.
We are in a total agreement.
I don't think we are, because if that's the case, then you believe that pies actually begin to exist and that you
I
actually began to exist.
I have said both of those things.
Okay, well, you
Pies.
didn't say that in the last conversation. That's for
I have
sure.
only ever said that.
No,
Pies begin to exist when we
I,
combine
dude,
two
I
ingredients.
can post a video where you didn't say that very
Please,
clearly.
please do it.
I mean, we had to speak to you about pies for like a whole hour. You don't
I
remember that?
remember the conversation. Yeah, because I was critiquing the Kalam argument, and we decided to call the universe a pie. I remember it very clearly.
Okay, well, listen, no, I think you should take a look at it again, and you might be misremembering what you actually said because you're singing a different tune at this exact moment.
Well, so think about it. Think about it just for a second, okay? You claim that I actually stated that the ingredients that compose a pie began to exist. At the same time,
Oh, Jake, is
I
this the
continue to
atheist
make
you
the
were telling me
argument.
about that doesn't believe pies exist?
God lets loose
Yeah,
little before you know who
he
I am.
doesn't believe, yeah, he doesn't believe that. He
Yeah,
doesn't
and
believe that he exists.
no
He's just
matter
an
how much
abstract label.
no matter how much we can come to an agreement when we break this down, you like to finish the conversation with saying, "Oh yeah, he's the guy who thinks pies don't exist," which is
You
something I've never
don't. You
said.
don't actually. You don't actually. You
I
think
have never
pies are
said
just
that.
abstract labels. You don't think that they're concrete entities.
Do we have to go over this again? Again? A
We could
pie
go over
is
it
a
10
reference.
times, dude, because my point is this. If I can't convince you that a pie exists, how could I talk to you about God or anything else? You don't even know
I
that you exist or a pie.
I have never once said that pies don't exist ever.
Yes, you have. Pies are just abstract labels according to you. They're not actually concrete things. That's your position.
My position is the word pie is an abstract label referring to a composition of ingredients. That is
So
only
you don't
ever
think
Okay.
been
a
my
pie
position.
has mass then, because it's abstract?
Oh my God. A pie is a label for a composition of ingredients.
Okay,
You think it's
okay,
immaterial?
is there anything, let me ask you this way. No. Is there anything that exists concretely that's not a mere abstract label?
Yes, tons of stuff exists concretely.
Okay, what are they? Give me an example of one.
Anything with any sort of atomic structure.
Give me an example.
A pencil, a pen, a chair, a house. These
Okay,
are all
so a
references
pen.
to
Okay, let's deal with
compositions
the
of
pen.
material.
A pen, you're saying a pen actually exists. A pen is actually a concrete thing.
The word pen is a reference to a composition of atoms.
Look what you're doing. You're switching. You're switching from the pen to the atoms. I'm asking about the pen. Does the pen
I,
exist?
the composition of atoms that make up a pen, they exist, yes. The pen
See,
is
you
a
can't
reference.
answer. You
I
cannot
just
actually
answered you.
say that a pen exists. You can only say, "Oh, a composition of atoms exists," and then we call it a pen.
Let me ask you something.
But you're not
Let's
actually saying pens exist.
hang on. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any programming experience, computer programming?
No.
Okay, so in the programming world, there is something called a pointer. The pointer is not able to hold anything in particular in memory. It is just a reference to a different spot in memory. Does that make sense?
Dude, honestly,
Well, isn't the atom
You following?
it, isn't the atom just like an abstract concept then we apply because it's just made up of like protons and a nuclei, right? So
Yeah,
why are you
these are
saying
all
atoms
words.
exist?
These
Is
are
atom just a label for the protons and the nuclei?
composition of those smaller particles. Yeah.
okay, so then we're still waiting for the thing that has a label that actually exists concretely. That's not merely a label.
Well,
What
I'm
is it?
not gonna I'm
Because
not
it's not an
gonna
atom.
I'm not gonna be able to give you examples without using words.
Exactly, and every word is merely an abstract label. It's not actually a thing. There is no
That's correct.
thing that is actually an atom. It's a concept. So to
All
you,
right.
then, strictly speaking, nothing actually exists concretely. That's your position.
No, that's not even close to my position. Here, let's pretend
It
that you and
is.
I were standing.
That's
Hang
the
on.
conclusion of your
Let,
position.
let's pretend that you and I were standing next to each other in the real world, and you said, "Give me an example of a concrete thing," and I don't say a word. I just point at anything. I just point at something. There you go. I didn't use a word. I didn't use a label. There's your example. Does that work for you?
You're pointing to something. Does that thing exist concretely?
Yes.
What is it?
It's whatever I'm pointing at.
What's the name of it?
Oh, so you want me to give you a label?
Exactly, because now what you're saying is things exist, right? But you don't know what they are. They're not actual, they don't have particularity to them. You can't call them anything.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna have to just decide that you must be trolling me because uh,
No, I'm not
either
trolling you, dude. I'm just saying your position is basically mereological nihilism, and it's ridiculous. Because
my
on that
position is
position,
Mariological
pies
nihilism.
don't
Yes.
actually exist.
No, that's not correct.
Yes, that's what you're saying. You're saying that pi is an abstract label. There are no concrete pies that actually exist.
I'm saying that everything is a composition of matter, and we put labels on certain compositions to allow us to communicate about them and whatever else we need to do. That is my
Yeah.
position.
What are
You
they
can try to
compositions
reframe
of?
that to something
What are
that
they
sounds ridiculous.
compositions of?
But that is my position.
What are they compositions of? So you can't name anything that exists concretely.
Wait,
Correct?
so you're saying before so you're saying before minds existed, atoms didn't exist because we didn't have the label atom.
Oh my God. You guys do know the difference between references and the
But
things
before
that
there
they
was
refer
any
to, right?
minds, did atoms exist?
Yes.
Wait, but atoms is just an arbitrary construction of when you throw a nuclei with some protons together. That's just a concept, right?
Atom is a label that you and I have agreed refers to a particular construct of matter.
So you're saying atom is abstract?
I'm saying the label atom is abstract. There's a difference between a label and the thing that the label refers to. I know
Yeah,
both
but
of you understand
the
this,
thing
right?
is not actually an atom. That's your point.
That's the label we've given it.
It's not actually an atom though.
Yes, it is, because that's how we've defined it.
Listen, no.
Yeah,
Let's
that's why you
go
laugh,
back to
because you're
square
trolling
one.
me. I understand.
No,
Well,
no, I'm not
I gotta
trolling
run
you.
anyway. You guys have fun.
Let me ask you to name one single thing that actually exists concretely. That's not a mere name.
You want me to give you a word that's not a word? You just
No,
asked me for that? Seriously?
I want you to give a word of something that refers to something that actually exists, not just a mere label. Okay, I want to know a concrete thing that actually exists.
You want me to name a concrete thing without using its name?
No, that's your assumption. The point is, you can't do what I just asked because, on your view, no concrete things actually exist.
I've never said that.
Yes,
You are,
that's the entailment of what your position is.
if that was
What you
my
stated
position,
here.
if that was my position, don't you think I would say that? Why are you
You
trying to
have
tell
in
me
so
what my
many
position
words.
is?
Yes, you have.
You're clearly not understanding my words then.
I clearly am, sir. Pi is an
You just
abstract label.
you just asked me to give you an example of a concrete object without using a label to refer to it. How am I supposed to respond to that?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I said
Okay,
you can use the label, but the label is actually referring to a thing. It's not something that is mere abstract label.
a label is not an abstract label. You just said this.
The label itself, what you're referring to, the word actually refers to a thing, and that thing actually is what the label is being ascribed to.
Then a pencil, a pen, so on and so forth. I can
Yeah,
give
they
you
all
labels
actually exist.
I can give you labels that refer to concrete constructions of material, and those things exist, absolutely.
Yeah, concrete constructions of material, but the pen itself doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, I gotta go. So y'all have
Thanks,
fun.
Noel. Thanks for your time.
Bye bye.
Enjoy yourself, sir.
I was surprised about him not wanting to agree that anything concrete exists.
James, he wasn't even willing to say that he existed. He said it's just an abstract label. I mean, how can you have a discussion with somebody and like try to give an argument about anything? Like I can't even show you that pies exist.
Yeah, that was bad. And I'm gonna
It's just
see him.
silly.